Hello, class of 1967. We are going to remember the senior prom of 12 May 1967, which was a Friday, just as it is this year of 2023, some 56 years later. Wow, 56 years, huh? Special thank you to Jerry Bove, as she was known back in those years, for her fine, quick work of responding to my request for information on the prom. She responded with military precision. Thank you, Jerry. By the way, Jerry and I were boyfriend and girlfriend way back when. It was the summer of 1963, as I remember it, between eighth grade and freshman year. And her dad was a great guy. I remember her dad. And he even had the occasion to meet my dad one time. I think they were shopping or something. They ran into each other. And I heard about this. And that's when I got worried. The fathers have met. Ah! So I decided to go fishing the rest of the summer. And that was the end of that romance. As to this project, I just felt an overwhelming need to complete our yearbook with information and photos of the prom. I am pleased that I did push for it because, it's needed in this particular instance. First, I want to thank the prom committee. The prom you folks planned, and their names are in the brochures you see in front of you, and achieved was extremely well done. I mean, extremely. This is a beautiful prom. Very professional, great job. Too bad we did not have more photos, and too bad it was not in the yearbook. Now, some of you are saying it's not in the yearbook. Why isn't it in the yearbook? The reason for that is logistics. There is not enough time to get it all to the publisher and print it in those days before graduation. The publisher back then needed at least 60 days to complete the Quo Vadis publication and have it to us students before graduation day. In fact, I think we all had the yearbook prior to the prom of 12 May 1967, if I remember. I could be mistaken about that, but that's what I remember. Now it could be done in this digital age, but back then, before the digital quick age had not arrived yet, and we just didn't have the logistical ability to do that. Now, again, more praise to a few teachers who helped with my success of going to the prom. And this is what I mean. I would have been one of the folks who did not date and did not go to the prom had it not been for good old Mr. Kowalik. Now, you're going, Mr. Kowalik, right? The Latin teacher? Him? Yes. Now that we are old people, we are in a position to give credit and criticism to our teachers who were in their 30s and 40s back then. You have heard my two whining disappointment previous tapes toward two of our authority figures back then. I made it pretty clear I have some disappointing views of them. I don't need to repeat it. I don't need to say their names. That's my opinion. But happily, I did appreciate the chastisement. Yeah, the chastisement I received by Mr. Kowalik. Yes, he chewed me out one day after class for being too studious and too diligent. Yes, can you believe it? So his remedy for me was to assign me a punishment lesson. He basically said, hey, look, you're disturbing me in class with all your questions and concerns. You got to kind of calm down. I want you to go to the dance this weekend. I was told to go to the dance that weekend, and this was sophomore year. What? I was really worried. I cannot dance, and I do not like to be with large crowds of strange people. I came home that night from high school with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I have to learn to dance in 4 days. At that time, I had been accustomed to confiding in Ruth Horter, who was a fellow classmate in class of 1967. And Ruth and I had gone all through elementary school together. Whenever one of these strange predicaments would come up, I would sort of confide in Ruth like an older sister, but she was actually younger than me. So whenever one of these things would arise, I would talk to Ruth. But in this case, I did not talk to Ruth. I was really worried about it, and I hadn't seen Ruth in a while, so I didn't talk to her about it. I went to an older woman. Yes. One of my family members suggested go talk to Elaine, who lived up the street and was an upper class person in our school. She lived up the block. It was suggested that I ask her to teach me to dance. She agreed after a little bit of, joking about it. And I paid her by mowing her lawn. Yes, I mowed her family's lawn in payment for having taught me to dance. It was a good deal. Long story short, I made it to the dance. Mr. Kowalik was happy to see me there. And I made it to the very classy prom of 12 May 1967 as a result of that, 2 years later. I really appreciate these photos Jerry provided. You did a great job, Jerry. Thanks once again. There is none in our yearbook for the logistical reasons I mentioned above. And these postings we did here are a great reminder for everyone. Once again, I hardly remember anything of this prom. I only remember the date of 12 May 67. For some reason, that date stuck in my mind all these years. I never forgot that date. But I remembered nothing else except the frog leg appetizers and the beautiful architecture of that staircase. Otherwise, I didn't remember anything else. So, my question to you all who are listening to this is this. What memories do you have of the prom? Are they good, bad, or none? Do you want to forget it? Do you want to never hear it again? Or would you like to reminisce with us? If you have any comments, please leave them below this posting. Thank you again.